Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Trendz Travel. As usual, I'm your host Eloise Scoble, and today we find ourselves in Lanseria Country Estate, where a little bit later Nadia will be showing us all the fun and exciting things to do around here. Right now, though, Zondi takes us to the bioscope on the beach.
Many events that explore film in many different formats are happening in Durban right now. That's because of the biggest annual film festival in Africa, the Durban International Film Festival. The beach bioscope allows for a different kind of method to watch local cinema. The cooler boxes are out. It's the middle of winter in Durban and the sun is out. As well, people are picnicking with their friends while watching movies at the beach. It's called the beach bioscope. Despite it being winter, the sun is out during the day here. Those in the film industry say this will attract more audiences.
This whole idea that it has to be a formalized space in a theater, we're gone are those days. I say, you know what, film is supposed to be engaging. It's supposed to make us uncomfortable. So if this scenario is doing that, of course we must have them outside. Of course we must have them in the most open spaces, because that's what film is.
I think it's one of the greatest ideas because it's going to be the greatest platform for all the upcoming filmmakers as well as us as upcoming actresses as well.
It's very interesting and very entertaining. You get to mingle with people outdoors, and with the Durban weather you can never go wrong having a bioscope outside.
Dance and music are a part of it too. Bands and DJs take audiences to the film viewing. Organizers say such outdoor film events are a necessity.
I think it's important because number one, we have Durban is a beautiful scenery, number one, and secondly, we have a shortage of actually distribution platforms, and local content requires distribution. So what I did is that I then said to myself, okay, look, if the population cannot actually go and afford to go and watch the movies at your big cinemas, so why don't we 4 times a year gather together and actually watch a local content and support a local producer, because the red tapes are really massive when it comes to actually submitting your film into the big distribution platforms.
In the end, those that were at the beach bioscope had fun in this unusual outdoor winter experience.
One of the most exciting things about the Miss SA pageant, well, for me at least, are the dresses. And this year, Njibula goes behind the scenes with one of the Mozambican designers, Taibo Bakar.
So we're ready to meet the top 16. I think everybody's going to love this. Let's get the show on the road.
The countdown to the crowning of Miss South Africa 2019 has begun. 16 contestants out of hundreds have been announced, and they are ready to go stiletto to stiletto for the crown. So besides beauty and brains, those of you who just like me will be glued to their screens, I know you'll also be looking forward to the contestants' gowns. Over the years, well-known South African fashion designers, the likes of David Tlale, Gavin Raja, as well as Mark and Michael, have dressed previous Miss South Africa pageant contestants. This year, however, the pageant has selected Mozambican-born fashion designer Taibo Bakar as one of the headline designers. Launched in 2008, the fashion brand is a fusion of high fashion and ready-to-wear. It has also won many African and international awards as one of the first African brands to showcase at Milan Fashion Week.
So beautiful for me to be part of this project, in specific because we here in South Africa, and I have been doing things in fashion in South Africa for more than 5 years, and for the very first time I can start to feel that the people from South Africa start to receive myself like a part of their family. So I think it makes all the sense, because I'm working with a luxury brand. Taibo Bakar is a luxury brand, and all they need it's luxury pieces for this luxury event. So it makes all the sense.
Our cameras went behind the scenes to get a sneak peek of some of the dresses.
Okay, because people from Miss SA, because we have 4 segments for Miss SA, and the segments that I'm gonna showcase, it's for the ready-to-wear. So we decided to bring it to the Miss SA. Like, of course, this is just some things that I'm showing to you, but it's not exactly what we're gonna have. We still love these flawless dresses and this kind of what I talked with you about, the details, all these beautiful details. And then we have those 2 beautiful pieces from our collection, Love Yourself. The collection is celebrating, it's pure celebrating from a woman. So this is a street pajama that is beautiful with our print, a Taibo Bakar print. And then we have this beautiful piece. As I told you, you can see that it's ready to wear, but it's full of embroidery. It's handmade, so it's all about the details, the crystals. So this is gonna make the show looks like more glamorous.
Miss South Africa 2019 will be crowned on the 9th of August 2019.
We'll be back with more of Trendz Travel right after this very short break. But do remember to tag us, like us, follow us on our Instagram and Twitter pages. That's on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
The SABC News mobile app is your one-stop digital portal to all the news you need. Stay connected with the latest in breaking news. Watch the SABC News channel along with clips and live streams of all the big news events. And listen to all the SABC News radio stations live, including podcasts and much more. Simply download the SABC News app to your Android or iOS device from either the Play Store or the App Store. SABC News, independent, impartial.
For many, being on holiday means we forget all about our fitness regime, while Zondi takes us back to the beach for a bit of capoeira, body weight training and yoga.
Now imagine you're on holiday, you're looking at these views, and yet you're managing to keep fit by doing capoeira. Capoeira is an Afro-Brazilian martial art that fuses elements of fight, dance, music and movement.
I'm at the beach in Durban and I'm about to learn some capoeira. It's a form of martial arts that has origins in Brazil and Angola. I've never done capoeira before, so it should be interesting. It's something you can also try out when you're on holiday here at the beach in Durban.
Now, I've never done capoeira before, so these guys are taking it easy on me and are starting me on basic movements. I can feel it working on my core muscles. The stomach is definitely at work here, and it needs to be.
There's a lot of core movements, so your stomach, your shoulders, your legs, everything has worked. When you're playing capoeira, it's non-stop movements. You don't stop to breathe, you go and go and go.
Mark and his team offer this form of martial arts in a fun way in various spaces in Durban that include the beach and the Durban University of Technology.
Durban, we're quite fortunate, we've got lots of awesome spaces. We do train at Durban University of Technology. We're very fortunate to have a space there. But then also we like to visit the beach, go down to Florida Road, go down to Sharkey area. Wherever the sun is out, we like to play.
If you're at North Beach on certain days and can rise early, then you can catch a full workout with Zulu Transformers. They accept people who are on short holiday stays or those that live in the area and can do regular sessions.
When one is not in their hometown, training is the last thing on their minds. But in Durban, there's Zulu Transformers. They train at the beach in the mornings and in the evenings. So when you're on holiday, you can enjoy the ocean while you train at the same time.
So they start me with this intense cardio.
We do lower body workouts that includes squats, calf raises, and leg raise circles towards our core. And we do like sit-ups, pull-ups, dips, muscle-ups. We focus more on like using your own body weight, basically.
Zulu Transformers came out of a need to offer group training that is intense and fun. Their morning and evening classes are free.
I'd say the benefits of training outdoors are actually much better than training indoors. You just need to understand what you're doing outdoors. When we started off with a small group with like 5 people. And then obviously as time goes, our group actually grew, you know, in a large number and in a short period of time. And then after that, we like, you know what, since we have a large group and some people are working, some people are studying, and some people like to train in the morning. So we're like, why don't we come up with the morning session?
Those that train on a regular basis in their home cities can get a chance to participate in more intense workouts using free facilities that are available in some of Durban's beach areas.
We chose Moses Mabhida because of the steps that are there. We focus more there on our lower body. And then when we come here, this is where we do our body weight trainings that include pull-ups, dips, and muscle ups. And then we go to Glenwood. Glenwood is like our home ground. That's actually where we started, and that's where we're training. And it's easy access for most people to actually come to the park, and it's an open field. And there's a nice steep hill called Mutaiga. That's where we actually basically work out. And then we go to Kukulethu Dlamini Park, that's in town, in Central. We just started working out there. It's basically a park that we're rehabilitating.
If an easy and more calm way of keeping fit is your thing, then maybe you can head up to yoga classes in the Westville area of Durban.
The type of yoga that you see here is a traditional style of yoga, which is the Hatha yoga part of it, the asana aspect. Asana means postures. So yoga is very, very broad, right? So it's the bringing together of the body, the mind, the soul, the energies. But this part that we are doing today focuses a lot on the body. You need to get the body and the breath right before you do any other relaxing poses.
Kugan's purpose is to make yoga available to ordinary citizens. He only takes donations one can afford for his classes. This, he says, is because he wants yoga to be accessible to everyone.
Fortunately, yoga is for all in the sense that you can be somebody that's absolutely fit, somebody that's young, somebody that's old. People have chronic diseases, people have acute diseases, people have recoveries from accidents and ailments, and anyone's welcome at a yoga studio.
They say summer bodies are made in winter, and with so many free and affordable options, clearly there's no excuse for one to gain even the smallest bit of holiday fat, even when they are away on business or on holiday. And if the purpose is to lose that gut like me, there are many ways that make that possible.
As promised earlier, let's take a look at what Lanseria, Country Estate and Maruping has to offer.
The Cradle of Humankind is a heritage site that is so rich with history and very interesting findings. We went to Lanseria Country Estate for a quiet afternoon away from the city. There's lots of outdoor activities that one can get up to in this area, like adrenaline-pumping river rafting. However, I wanted to give fly fishing a try. So, what does it take to master the sport?
It really takes an understanding of, for instance, the sport, first of all. So fly fishing has been partially developed from normal fishing. So at the end of the day, you want to try and be able to catch a fish, but where it's been adapted is you don't use bait, you actually use artificial materials which are actually tied on a hook, and that is then made to imitate what the fish would normally be eating. The second part that's quite important is that it's very much a lifestyle. experience. So it's about being out at beautiful places like here in the cradle. It's about enjoying also the birding, the sunshine. Often in winter, even in the sunshine, it's a bit cold. But it's about getting outdoors and really enjoying what nature's got to do. And to be able to fly fish, there's some basic techniques. Because you don't just have a rod where you flick the line out, you actually have a fly line, which there's a couple of different processes that you use to cast the line and the fly out, and then bring it back in, and hopefully a fish will then take the fly. And then probably one of the most important things is that it's very eco-friendly. So majority of the fishing that we do, it means that you end up releasing the fish so they continue to swim for another day.
The line from your left hand into your finger again, into this right finger at the back. Put a bit more acceleration. Okay, a bit more at the back, a bit more speed.
Why is it tangling?
Because...
Well, I think fly fishing is more of a patience test than it is relaxation. But as they say, different strokes for different folks.
Most people in Johannesburg don't know that they're living just outside one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So today I brought some friends to share with you a little bit about this important site that we know as the cradle of humankind. The story starts with this one. This is the very famous Taung Child. And the Taung Child was discovered in 1924, and when it was shared with the academic community as being something more closely related to us than to, say, apes or monkeys, it was very roundly thrown out.
Over the past few decades, we've seen more excavations that gave more in-depth knowledge.
We also have one of these exciting finds that has come up in recent years, and this is a reconstruction of Homo naledi. Now, Homo naledi, have you heard of Homo naledi before? Okay, I'm glad you're with me on that one. So Homo naledi comes from a site called Rising Star, which is actually only 1.5 kilometers from Sterkfontein Caves. So a lot of these sites are rather close to one another. It's just across the road from another famous site, Swartkrans. And deep within that cave, we found more than 15 individuals in one single chamber, far away from daylight. So we have a mystery as to how these small brain hominins made it into that area that we're still trying to sort out scientifically. We also found it wasn't a fluke because there's a second chamber within Rising Star that also has more specimens of the same species, which are very well preserved and most surprisingly lived fairly recently. They would have lived at the same time that our own species, Homo sapiens, was on this planet.
We've got so much more for you coming up after the break.
On Full View, the end of the day means unpacking the day's events. We recap all major news stories from around the world.
The African Union's decision to suspend Sudan's membership was made by the AU Peace and Security Council.
It was a unanimous decision. We said we'll give them up to 60 days.
And have in-depth discussions on what's happening in our country.
This economy, for it to grow, you need people that will be working in order for them to be able to have the buying power.
And now we take you back in time as Puling spends an adventurous day with 80s music pop icon Mercy Pakele of Ayashisa Mateki fame.
She set the dance floor ablaze with hit songs such as Ayashisa Mateki, I Will Hold On, Dizokulinda, and many more. The 80s queen of pop, Mercy Pakele, stole the hearts of many South Africans with her golden voice, impeccable dance moves, and a funky fro that set the trend for pop stars of her era. With 30 years in the game, she still got swag and rhythm. Over a friendly quad biking race, we reminisce about her music journey and her comeback in the music scene. She is a chart-topping pop icon of the 80s. Growing up in the late 80s, I remember she provided a soundtrack to all of our childhood. Everybody in the township knew that every day they'll be listening to Ayashisa Mateki and songs such as Ndizokulinda. Trendy travelers, today you are rocking with Umesi Phakela. Welcome to Trendz Travel.
Thank you, man.
My
Thank
goodness,
you.
you still look just as young as you did back in the day, and you still dance as good as you do. And I wasn't expecting that you'd beat me to it, but hey, I give it to you. Like, you're good, you're very good. Now back to the music. What's it like over 30 years later in the music business? Having people still come to you to talk about your music, remembering your songs, and some, I bet, they still sing along to your lyrics. What's it like?
Of course. Yes, of course. I'm very fortunate, I must say. You know, because even in the 80s, it was me and Brenda, you know, who was the pop stars.
Yeah.
You know, and we would fill stadiums. And, you know, I'm so shocked. I get shocked sometimes when I see young people sing Ayashisa Mateki.
How can we forget?
And it's like, you know, Baba's J, you know, but they say, my mother, my father, my uncle, and I also love the music.
In terms of the pop sound in South Africa right now, that has also changed, you know. From your observation, has it improved in a good way, or you feel like the pop has lost that which it had? Are we still making classics like we used to make during your time?
I would say there is a slight change, because, you know, the pop today, I think it is more of a glam. You know, the Afro pop, it's more of some abo Thandiswa, nabo Mafikizolo, you know, but township pop, it's more of a glam. And the glam is so empty, there isn't much instrument in it, you know, but now the piano, amapiano is bringing that element of the 80s pop, you know, which is, at least they are growing, you know, they're growing into coming back to the original sounds of the 80s.
If you were to rock up at a concert and pull out Amateki and dance and be Umesi Phakela, do you feel like you've grabbed some audiences of our generation?
Yes,
Can you
I
still
do.
hold the crowd?
I still do. It's so amazing. I mean, when I go perform, if I perform something else, people shout for Ayashisa Mateki. You know, the young people shout, they say, Ayashisa Mateki, Ayashisa Mateki.
How do you keep so fit and so good looking and so young? Wenzani, do you have a regime?
No, I don't even go to the gym. You know, I introspect, I get into the depths of my soul and deal with my inner child. And that inner child keeps me young, you know, because I get content with myself and get to understand every little thing that happens around me. So that's what keeps me young, darling.
What's it called, the new song, by the way?
Don't You Do.
Don't You Do. So how does the chorus go? And like a true pop star, Messi is owning her music space, fitting in perfectly in the glam genre. You have these young boys that you're performing with. What's the name of the song, and how did you guys find each other?
Oh yeah, we met several years ago. We've been meeting, you know, sharing ideas, saying we'll do a song one day. But last year we met at Mushito conference, and we decided that we are going to do a song. And then we went into the studio and we did the song, and it's called "Don't You Do What You're Doing." You know, we are bringing awareness to the injustices that we are doing to each other in the society. You know, like it talks about ungayenzi crime, or don't rape women. You know, don't do all the wrong things. Just do the right thing.
The time sensing ingoma ne, and then sasidlala beat, I was like, okay, wenzani Umesi Phakela? Hey, nangu ecula ndithi uzamngena lo gogo egqom. And then wangena waphakathi wangena, and then I was like, i-message yengoma athi no, don't you do, ungayenzi lento lena. I was like, okay, yeah, this song is nice, man. You're right.
And the melody was just there. Okay. Yeah, no, we just shared the song right there in the studio. You know, though I was too excited, you know, to be with them, and Mina being Shailing Tozami, you know, and you know, but yeah, they gave me a going rhythm. That rhythm was just taking me to heights.
To thank the Queen of Pop for her contribution in the music scene, we surprised her with a tailor-made pair of all-stars.
We are mankind painting. That means we paint what every man does. That's movement, that's revolutionary, that's lifestyle, that's styling. In particular to shoes, especially, you know, shoes is our path, so we are destined to walk the path with color. That's what we do especially most. The inspiration is, as Africans, we work, we collab, art, music, acting. That's how we project life. Yeah.
And the Queen of Ispanzula gave us a dance lesson.
And that's all we have for you in this week's edition of Trendz Travel. From me, Eloise Scoble, and the rest of the team, it's goodbye until next time.